Hello. It's that time of year when pretty much all gardeners seem to be doing, well, almost the same thing. And when I say all gardeners, I mean people in the Northern Hemisphere, particularly here in the UK. I'm Liz Zorab and this is Byther Farm. A couple of weeks ago I started tidying up this bed. It had a pea frame on it and I was emptying pots of things that I'd grown earlier in the year into the soil, and I still need to carry on doing that, but in the meantime I want to get done the thing that's been very pressing. She says, but now I've been sidetracked by, look at that, what a great carrot. I don't remember sowing a seed this year, so either it's one that's just been blown in the wind, well, or that I've dropped. Excellent. So back to the bed here. Quite a lot more weeds have come up since I went through. So I'm just going to get a hoe and hoe those off because I can see they're all just weeds of things that I don't need. Now this is not my first choice of hoe, but it's the only one I've got because I left my other one out in the rain so often that the handle, which was wooden, actually broke. So I need to be a bit careful when I get over this side because I've got rhubarb here. I almost started digging into the rhubarb just now. While I'm not actually going to be planting along this side, I might as well get these weeds out as well because they're just going to be competition for the rhubarb. And are things like brambles, which are getting too well established for my liking. Things like creeping buttercup I'm trying to get up with the roots because otherwise they will just continue to grow. And there's a dandelion, again with roots that will carry on growing. This morning I've managed to take out a couple of the posts that I had on that side of the bed to support some pea netting. A week or so ago I constructed this support for peas. So I've done it by putting 3 stakes into the ground, and these are tree stakes because I happen to have them. And I've just used a mallet to put those into the ground. And then across the top I've taken 2 bamboo canes, joined them together in the middle and then cable tied them on right across the full length. And then onto the end of the canes I have put some tennis balls. I've cut a small cross in the end of the tennis ball and pushed that on. It doesn't look very attractive now. This colour will fade over the summer, but it will protect my eyes from the ends of the bamboo canes. And then over that I have draped a jute string trellis, but I haven't got the one out at this end yet because it's actually it's fixed to the frame, the bed frame, with a screw. And when I tried to lift it up just now, it lifted the whole frame up. We don't want that. I'm also trying to hoe quite carefully around plants that I know I do want in here. So the rhubarb, but there's also quite a lot of forget-me-nots and some foxglove, digitalis. The reason that I know exactly when I sowed those seeds and what variety they were is because I keep a journal. And in fact I've designed my vegetable garden planner and journal so that I can keep a really good record of exactly what I've sown, when and where. Now it's not year specific, so it's not for a particular year. Once you've got it, you can keep on using it year after year until you've filled it up. And it will slowly build up a record of what's going on in your garden. So I've included in it some photographs, some planting guides of when you can plant various different vegetable seeds. There's information about perennial plants and composting. I leave a few words of encouragement or advice Some of them are more generic, but most of them are really gardening specific. I've had some really nice feedback about it, with people saying how helpful and useful it is. And it's also a really good thing to give somebody as a gift. Now you can find it on my website at bytherfarm.com, and it's also for sale on Amazon. And down here, in amongst this old parsnip, and to be honest, that can come out. There we go, it's just a small one. And these were here to set seed. And I've already collected their seeds, but I won't waste the parsnips. They can go down to the kitchen. Right, let's come back when I finish this bed. It won't be very long before I have completed 8 years of sharing my gardening here on YouTube. And it made me realise that actually if you watched one a day, it would take you almost 3 years to get through all the videos that I've created in the last 8 years. And this will apply not just to me, but to lots of YouTube content creators who've got a very big backlog of videos. I encourage you to go and have a look at some of my older videos, and also the older videos of some of your other favourite channels too. So I've brought out my kneeler, which is a foam pad wrapped in a rather noisy plastic bag, but it does stop the foam pad from getting wet, and this just saves my knees and saves me from getting very wet. I have a trowel, and then I have a basket of stuff, and I've got some flowers here. These are some pansies that I've grown from plug plants that I bought. I only got them because I was buying something else and they were like a bonus thing for really very little money, and I thought, well, maybe. But actually they're delightful, and I'm really pleased with how cheery they are. There've been some lovely flowers. I'm actually going to deadhead the ones where the flowers have gone over to encourage it to carry on producing, so that's for later. But then I've got garlic, and this is what everybody is doing in their gardens at the moment. They are planting garlic, and for good reason, because now is the time. Now until the end of November is ideal, but actually as long as you can get it in maybe before December the 21st, your autumn planted garlic is still going to do well. You can either buy your garlic to grow from a specialist supplier, or you can use bulbs that you grew, or you could buy supermarket garlic. But if you do that, you want to make sure that it's organic garlic, so that it hasn't been sprayed with a growth inhibitor. And then you want to break open your garlic bulb and get all the cloves. So this is one that I grew last year, so it's got quite a lot of cloves. And the cloves are the individual pieces. And although I say it every year, flat end down, pointy end up, you can guarantee one of these I'll put in upside down or sideways. This is flat end down, pointy end up. Now I like to decide where everything's going to be planted before I put anything in. So I'm going to go like that. And I like to plant them about 6 inches apart. And then I choose the largest of the cloves, and I put them in. Lots of people like to plant them so the tip is just pointing out to the surface. I like to be planting them deeper than that. And I will choose the fattest and biggest of the cloves to plant first. You see I haven't covered over the first row yet because this allows me to see where I've already planted. Did I put one in there? Yes. And then finally a third row, which I'll then put in line with the first row, so they're then staggered again. And you can put them in straight rows if you would rather. This is just how I like to do it, but there isn't a right or wrong. Oh, and still one more there. And then I'm going to cover them over. So I found a label. I will write garlic on this and puts that label in sort of towards the end, so I've got something marking each end. I know I wouldn't have planted too far over because there's the rhubarb is over there. And then the other thing that I have is elephant garlic. And this is one that I grew this year. So I planted it last November. This is a pretty good average sized garlic clove. And here is my elephant garlic. Now, elephant garlic is, in fact, not a garlic, it's a member of the leek family. And again, flat end down, pointy end up. And I'm going to plant this a bit deeper. So I'm going to plant this a bit deeper because it's a bigger clove. And they like about 9 inches of space in each direction before another plant. So I'm going to, I know my hand is about 7.5 inches, so I'm going to give it a little bit of space and then go here. Here we go. And again, yep. Okay, and another clove. I think that's the next biggest, and that can go down there. And again, while I stagger these, have I got space to do? I think I'm going to stagger these again, which just gives me, gives them a little bit more space actually. Here we go, 1, 2. I'm going to use that one in the kitchen because it's quite small. I'm going to put one, what I can't remember is whether I put an ordinary garlic bulb just here. No, I didn't, so I will pop one in there. There we go. So those are the 6 that I'm going to do on this side of the foxglove. And again, I'm covering them over, just doing a little bit of weeding as I go. There we go. And I want to put a label in here, which will remind me there's something else going on in the garden there. Now I'm going to carry on weeding and planting right the way down this side of the bed.